The Godzilla franchise has existed for over 65 years. What began as an allegory for the pain and suffering caused by the bombs dropped in Hiroshima and an exploration into the use of atomic bombs quickly developed into what people know the franchise as today, the most prolific kaiju fighting franchise ever. The film series has released movie after movie over the past 6 decades. The series seen multiple reboots in different timelines. Godzilla has been a threat to life, a protector of humanity, and sometimes he's just dumb thick. In 1998, America thought they gave their own Godzilla film a shot. Roland Emmerich was brought on as a director, the same guy that did Independence Day and The Day After Tomorrow. Let's just say it did not go well. At all. The movie is universally hated and is seen as a disgrace to the character of Godzilla. But you know, America just doesn't fucking give up like that. So in 2014, Gareth Edwards' Godzilla was released and it was better. But of course this couldn't just be a standalone movie, those stopped being made after Avengers came out. The film kicked off what is known as Legendary's Monsterverse, a shared kaiju universe connected to King Kong. After Godzilla we got Kong Skull Island, and that brings us to where we stand today, with the recent release of Godzilla King of the Monsters. It wasn't great. Godzilla King of the Monsters is a beautiful mess of a movie. Everyone knows what the Godzilla franchise is at this point. People go to the Godzilla movies for the action and spectacle. Only on a few rare occasions has the franchise ever tried to be more than that. People want big, awesome monster fights, and this movie delivers that in spades. But until the film gets here, that is the main issue. The story of this film is a convoluted and meandering mess. The film starts off with a boatload of lazy exposition delivered via the news recapping the events of Godzilla 2014 and its effects on the world. But then we get to the characters. We have a family, a mother, a daughter, and a father. The father is estranged because the loss of their son during the events of Godzilla 2014 has torn them apart. Now, the setup for these characters is actually interesting. Dealing with loss and how it tore apart a family is a genuinely compelling idea, but the film has no interest in exploring these characters, because that's the thing, these really aren't characters. They are cliched exposition machines and plot devices. They are well acted but lack any interesting characteristics. They really do not matter outside of getting the giant monsters to fight each other. Whereas human characters in most monster films are supposed to help us engage with the threat of destruction and enhance the dramatic weight of the film, the human stories in this bog down the film and create an empty emotional vacuum. Look at Jurassic Park, a film where we connect with the characters and want them to survive. The spectacle never outweighs the story. There's a balance, whereas the narrative of King of the Monsters is a slog to get to the action. The film seemingly forgets one simple thing. Sometimes the beauty is in the simplicity. In a movie where the action is a top priority, you do not need to have the most complicated plots. Oftentimes all you need is a simple plot to get the viewer engaged. Godzilla did not want to do that apparently. King of the Monsters goes out of its way to complicate things. Looking at the story, we first off have Monarch, the organization that found all the monsters. They themselves are dealing with the government who's trying to shut them down. But wait, there's also this eco-terrorist group run by Tywin Lannister who want to release all the Titans because they believe humans are killing and polluting the earth. And these monsters are actually natural and are meant to heal the earth because wherever they go, plant life is restored because of their radiation or something stupid like that. Now, having a message or using Godzilla and the other kaiju as metaphors is nothing new. Like I said before, Godzilla was created as an allegory, and the franchise seemingly kept this metaphor alive, using Godzilla to represent the US military as a whole, and the series reflects Japan and the US's changing relationship over the decades. And I think the message of this film is fine. Us humans have not been that nice to our Mother Earth, but that's not the issue. The issue is that the whole plot with the eco-terrorist group is just incredibly convoluted and unnecessary. Because there's this MacGuffin in the film, this machine that can control the monsters using some sort of frequencies or something. And the mom I mentioned earlier created it, but she's not with Tywin Lannister. But wait, she actually is. And and that might actually have meant something if I actually cared about these characters, but I don't. The eco-terrorists go about and unleash Monster Zero, Ghidorah, and then Rodan. They just aren't necessary though. If the filmmakers wanted to keep this message about humans killing Earth, they easily could have. Just have the monsters come back on their own. Some believe they should come back because they will save the Earth that humans have killed, while others believe they are threats to humanity. But Ghidorah is not actually out to save the Earth at all because he's a goddamn alien and wants to destroy it. That means humans need Godzilla to win because he's the only rival alpha. If he's alpha, the Titans won't wreck the planet. The film can still keep the same ideas present, but does not need to complicate the plot. If the film were to have just trimmed the fat, simplified the plot, and cut down on all the pointless, one-note characters, then this movie would have been a far better time. Here's the thing, the action in this film is great. The visual effects are something to behold. The creatures in this film look incredible, both appear as things to marvel at and things to fear. Some of the shots in this film are genuinely beautiful. This commitment to this childlike sense of let's just have some monsters fight all out and to the extreme is something you don't see too often. When this film is just focused on the action or these breathtaking moments of awe, this movie feels awesome. There is this one shot framed from the perspective of the human characters, with all the monsters fighting in the background, the carnage spilling everywhere. The scene illustrates the scale of what is happening. It is both terrifying and plain awesome, and one of my favorite moments in the movie. And this movie does not hold back on any of its action. It is balls to the wall from the first moments we see Godzilla and Ghidorah together. The biggest complaint from the last movie, besides killing off my dad Bryan Cranston, was that there was not enough Godzilla. This movie felt the anger that people had and just did not want to make the same mistake again. If King of the Monsters wanted to just be a simple yet incredibly fun action film, that's fine. You don't need all this story padding. There isn't much more to say than there are some incredibly breathtaking fights, but the story wrapped around the film weighs the entire movie down, which leaves the whole movie feeling like it just doesn't matter. I still have hope for the Monsterverse. As long as I have a desire to see giant monsters fight each other, I will always have hope. Godzilla vs. King Kong is set to come out next year, and I hope to God they don't mess that one up. I have no idea how they hope to top the original epic battle. King of the Monsters is actually failing at the box office apparently though, so a lot is actually riding on the next film. Hopefully they'll learn from their mistakes. And hey, you know, if you did enjoy this video, you could, theoretically, like it. I know, it's kind of out there, but you have to take a risk every now and then. I mean, maybe even subscribe. Sounds like a good time to me.